Hi, welcome to Versus, where we watch 2 TV shows so you don't have to. Today we have...
Versus!
Okay, Mark, so I always like to have some sort of connection between the two shows before we mention what they are, even though you've obviously seen them.
Tell me what this connection is, aside from batshitness.
Both main characters are just dead. They both have horrible accidents, we'll go into them, but they're both just about being dead, because they both seriously die.
So you think that they come sort of back as
they're just trapped in that there's some sort of either dead or a vegetable on the side of the road. So Kagestar, there's a company, and their portfolio is going down the shitter.
Yeah,
I was just
the company's going down the shitter, and it's kind of understandable why when you see all the people in the company.
Yeah.
They're a bunch of yes men. They all fucking lick that main guy's
million, whatever it is.
Yeah, and they're just all fucking wacky as shit. Like, they're obviously getting into a lot of hijinks. I don't understand how they, as a business, can continue.
I don't know what their business is.
And also how the police even are doing it, doing everything. I don't know what the business is either.
I know the shit was down, but Gary Oldman from Dracula turns up.
What, is he the police officer?
No, the guy.
Oh yes,
he
does.
Outside.
I've not seen that Dracula, but I have seen Gary Oldman in that.
Yeah, it's when he's young in it, but it got weird Gary Oldman vibes. But basically, this man turns up mysteriously, you don't really know who he is, and then suddenly the boss is like, "Hey, where's my daughter?" And she's like, "Oh, she's off doing something."
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, there's a package here, and it's got this doll inside it.
When they opened this up, I was like, "What is this going to be?" Because they both sort of looked at it, kind of like it was like. Sort of like, I don't know, kind of like two like weebs would sort of look at like an anime doll. Do you know what I mean?
They loved it. They thought it was very beautiful. Yes, that is a fantastic doll. But the plan for this bad guy, I have no idea what the bad guy's called. I'm just going to call Gary Oldman. His plan is to send a doll with a message saying, "We've got your daughter." They haven't even got the daughter yet. They're so cocky.
Oh yeah, they are.
She's not.
Really
She's
cocky.
doing fucking shadow puppetry. They leave the place. Having a nice little chat, and then the police turn up. They get kidnapped. That's what happened. They get tied to
terrifying sort of a Mission Impossible moment where they tear off that face. That's a really scary little face.
The guy just like, so what's going on? What's the problem? And the policeman's just like this. He's just like really smirky and smart. It's like, what? I'm confused. The guy's already also put all his. Gary Oldman's already put all his eggs in one basket. He's made the puppet to say that he's kidnapped someone. When do you make that puppet? And they haven't even kidnapped that person.
No,
like they could have been somewhere else.
There's a lot of weird sort of like spying and watching people and like being able to project things into there.
Who was
so
under
I
the mask?
imagine he's.
Oh no, sorry, it was just the putty faces, the kind of putty guys.
Yeah.
I was just saying who was under the
yes,
I just remember
it wasn't Gary Oldman.
I can't actually remember who it was.
But no, I feel like they've got a lot of like resources to sort of like spy, and also I bet that had like a microphone and it was just playing the message while he was talking to it because they sort of they spoke back and forth to it.
Don't send the ransom note until you've actually got who you're ransoming. The kidnap note.
There's just much better ways to actually make money when you have the resources that they have. They're able to see everything. They've got,
they not look at the portfolio of that company?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, also,
money,
yeah.
Like,
surely they would have heard the fact that they were just discussing how shit everything was.
Kagestar basically and Suzuko, I think it's called Suzuko, get kidnapped and tied up to the ceiling.
Yeah.
Now the only thing I knew about this show was that something to do with shadows, and he's got his shadows on the wall, and there's the putty guy's like doing something, and he's like, "Look, there's my shadow," and it's near his shadow. And I was like, wait, can he just control his shadows? And he's like, "Oh, if only I could bite him or something."
I think he was just going mental.
He's losing his fucking mind. Like, this is where it's wrong because he has He has no shadow powers whatsoever. He's just,
at this point,
he's losing blood. He's hanging upside down from the ceiling. No, you mean he's in that? He's in that. You know, the sexy rope thing going on.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of it. Look it up.
Yeah.
But you know the one, the tying up thing. It's very weird. It's not like
I don't know how much it was like that, but yes.
It's not the kind of tying up where you tie him to a chair. It was like a hanging from the ceiling.
I don't think he had like any sort of like bra things and
from
ropes.
my memory, there was a lot of that going on. But he was just losing his mind, going, "I'll bite that apple or drink that drink." Do you know?
He
through my shadow.
Yeah, that was weird.
And then the detectives arrive at the company who were just fucking two morons.
Yeah, they're just completely incompetent. He's also like they're sort of like, "What? You don't think I'm a policeman? Here's my giant face in your face."
Oh yes, that look at my face. Yeah.
Oh, thanks for clearing that up. I'm sorry I made any sort of fuss. You need to be making more of a fuss, mate. You need to be contacting the fucking ombudsman or whatever.
We're just going to let our son actually do all the work.
All the detective work.
The son just suddenly turns up because they're doing so shit. They go want some water while they're being tied up.
He's actually really thoughtful, this guy.
Yeah.
The guy's like, "Oh, sure."
Yeah, the torturer. Yeah.
Because he's like, "Why open his mouth like that?" Because obviously while he's trying to eat his apple. While he's trying to eat his apple, he's like, "I'm sorry, we're really thirsty." He's like, "Oh, sure, miss, come over here. I'll have to give you some things." Yeah. Anyway, and then he fucking does the weird like take down with the head.
But he kicks him over a small chair because he falls over a chair, and then he turns around and goes, cut these ropes, and the woman bites through the ropes. That's exactly because I checked it. No knives. So then they suddenly have a motorbike. So then they're being chased by the guys, and this is when both characters just fucking die. This is kids' TV.
Yeah.
They get chased by Gary Oldman and the putties on motorbikes, and they just go off the side of a cliff. I'm going to show the entire death scene.
Yeah.
I'm still going to explain it because I probably have to cut it a little bit if we get copyright after 5 seconds. They land on power lines and fucking burn to death, explode pretty much, and like land on the ground, these charred corpses.
Yeah.
And then suddenly they're Kagestar and Bellstar.
Bellstar.
They're dead.
Yeah, they are 100%. Yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah,
they're fucking dead. Like, what power do you get from burning alive on an electricity pylon? Literally, that and a bike crash. It wasn't just like they touched and go, oh, electricity cured.
But I suppose it's kind of like,
dead.
what sort of power do you get from getting bitten by a radioactive spider? I mean, you're only going to get some sort of poison.
No, but it's like
Spiders
a spider
never give
eating you
shit.
and shitting you out. Like,
and
it's
then
the actual
like...
You can survive a spider bite. You cannot survive
falling
off a cliff onto power line. And they grabbed the power line.
The cliff was like so far, like that really sort of gave me vertigo when they were going.
It was horrible.
It's a really like falling down.
It's a really like disorientating, horrible thing.
Yeah, and then they just sort of like land really, really cushy. And they're sort of just holding
on
like...
No,
but they do... When they land...
The ropes,
it's
like they've grabbed some nice ropes or something, but actually it's just power lines.
It's power lines.
But it cuts to just like a charred, like Uncle Owen and Ben or whatever, just...
Uncle Owen and Aunt Ben. And Aunt Ben.
Just charred up. And then Gary Oldman's like really pissed off. And then he puts on like that weird crab mask helmet.
Yeah.
I don't know why, to celebrate.
Do we see that anymore? But I don't think you can
he wears it for the rest of the show.
Okay.
So they turn into Bellstar and Kagestar and just fight everybody. They've suddenly got powers.
I have to say, Bellstar was like a complete surprise for me.
I wasn't expecting.
I was coming in here as soon as they both died on the floor, and then something. Then I was like, right. So they're both dead, and they both died in exactly the same way. I'm going to be really quite annoyed from like a feminist point of view if she doesn't get her own thing. And
this
then she
might
did.
be the first thing
and I was like, what
where
the
shit? Girls actually have powers usually.
Yeah, because I thought, I was like, they're just going to fucking make it to him. No, but she fully got everything that he did. She like sort of realised a bit later.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I was quite... She wasn't even in the fucking titles. I didn't see her at all. I was keeping an eye out. I mean,
it was fucking so weird. But they just punch all the putties for a bit.
Yeah.
And then they're like... flips to normal life suddenly. They don't go, hold on, what the fuck was that about?
Flips to normal life back into the house where they're sort of worried about the daughter and the daughter's boyfriend.
The corpses.
Yeah, but then they sort of break through, even stinging the thing. How far do they have to go?
No, but it's like...
they've just been walking like zombies the whole way. Half dead.
Is Kagestar and Bellstar their shadows? Because they seem to be a separate entity. Because you wouldn't be burned to death and then have your suit.
But then there's another layer of the shadows as well. There's like the second layer of also the shadows of the shadows.
The shadows can also move
become
and grow.
Shadows, and they can be separate people with separate consciousness as well. So, because that shadow, because he's like, go and get him, Shadow, and the Shadow's like, I'm getting it, don't worry.
But they basically just go through the garden windows. Like, oh hi, we're actually alive.
Yeah.
Right, we're gonna have to now put you as
But why? Like,
surely
also the people would have been like, right, well that one. That
didn't work.
That didn't work. Let's just not go for this company.
I spent
Let's
all that time
choose a
making
different
that
company.
doll. Like, I wish I fucking hadn't.
I think you're quite obsessed with the making
it
of
was
the doll.
just,
I can imagine they just
plan.
stuck a microphone or whatever technology inside that doll.
It was the wrong order. But then they try and lure the criminals, so they're dicking out with some paper airplane or whatever, or some model plane.
Next to that grate, and then she gets dragged down, obviously.
Kagestar uses his big
weird shadow
to catch a helicopter.
He sort of realises, I think he sort of goes after her after she's been taken, because they were all following underneath the sewers.
Yes.
And they pop up, and he's sort of been like beaten the fuck out of, and then he sort of goes and he gets run over a bit, and then he sort of pops up and he's like,
he does get run over.
He gets run over again, another death.
Another
death. This corpse just getting absolutely battered. Maybe it's like Weekend at Bernie's, and Kagestar's just inside.
Yeah,
the whole time, just sort of like trying to operate him, and he's just actually just like completely fucking dead. And by the end of it, he just rots.
They kill the bad guy. There's definitely a mannequin. Which did I miss?
Well, I mean,
the helicopter.
Yeah, but she's got to realise that she's also Kagestar. Bellstar, because she needs to realise that she's Bellstar, because she goes up there as well, and then she needs to save Takeshi or something like that. Maybe
the kids involved.
Something's happening.
It was so fucking weird.
Follow talks for all these in-depth analyses of all these.
But basically, there's a mannequin. I was just like, yep, there's a quick mannequin.
Right.
Does he just fall out of the helicopter or something, or down a quarry.
Yeah, but then I think they're all arresting him at the end, aren't they? Aren't they arresting? Or is he
Did he
not the bad
survive
guy?
that fall?
I thought. Well, I don't know.
There's definitely one of those like mannequin like.
I
thrown
thought
off
he
the
would be the
building.
bad guy for the whole thing, maybe.
At the end of the episode, they go, "Hey, wasn't it weird that like we had those powers?" And it's like, I think it was because we got electrocuted. It's pretty much
Yeah.
the explanation. It's like, okay, end.
I think
Kagestar,
so, yeah.
like credits roll. It's like,
oh wait, yeah, cells of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. That's it.
also, I don't like his eyes. Do you know his suit eyes?
Well, yeah,
like,
they are a bit
it looks
creepy.
very like just
She
cobbled.
looked much better than he
She like
did.
Evel Knievel.
She did look
Like a lot of
Knievel.
cape work.
But
going
he
on.
looked a bit like Confederate Evil Knievel. Evil
Knievel.
Knievel. Do you know what I mean? He had like part of me was thinking, is that a Confederate flag on his back?
I like Evel Knievel.
Knievel.
So the next corpse on the list is Thutmose.
Thutmose. Is that how we're saying it?
We're going to say Thutmose,
Thutmose.
but we might say Thutmose.
Thutmose. Thutmose.
This was
Thutmose.
fucking. I was really not looking forward to watching this. This was just like, well, I'll put that one on because it looks a bit weird. This was even fucking weirder. Basically, a girl moves into a new apartment with a family.
Yeah.
She kind of does it. Chris explains it all, goes through like all the family members and what they're doing there and whatever. And then the apartment manager. Do they have to buy everyone soba noodles, or does he buy them soba noodles? What? And there's people above and people below.
Yeah.
They kept going, but there's people.
Yeah.
Do you have to buy those people soba noodles? Well, no, because she went to order soba noodles, but I didn't get because the episode's called Curse of the Moving Soba.
Yeah.
That was the name. But basically, I think they have to. As a housewarming, they buy the other apartment soba noodles.
Yeah, like
and the building manager is super.
But like, how many people must have been in that building? That could literally bankrupt a
I think
family.
that's because it was sort of going. Lots of people there. People there. It seems like
we've had to pay these 2 taxis.
Yeah, maybe it's like a traditional thing, like when you move into a new place, you buy other people.
So, but maybe it's that, or maybe it's him just sort of being like, "Oh, as your building manager, you need to sort of get
these
some
traditions."
soba,
yeah,
and it's just one soba.
No, it's not because they point out. They go like, "Oh, but there's 2 up there and then 2 down there." But he's the villain. He's the mega mind.
It seems like he's also the villain before this whole thing sort of happens.
Because when he leaves the apartment, it's like. What? Is he bad? He's just asked for some soba noodles. Because but Sane is her name. Sane has to go and get the soba noodles.
Yeah.
And it was all a bit. She goes and go, hi, like.
Well, she goes out angry as fuck, changes her face.
Yeah,
like,
instantly. It was psychopathic.
She's got to keep up appearances when she's doing like these like really mundane
activities. She's new to neighbourhood, isn't it? I guess she wants to.
And so she's like, "Hello, I'm a lovely girl." Actually, she's fucking angry and bitter. And I think that was quite nice.
But when she left, the second she ordered it and left the place, she just goes. Like straight away, the second no one could see it.
But I like that though. I'm quite similar to that. When people stop me on a walk and I really don't want to be stopped, and I was like, "Hello, yes, he's a lovely dog, isn't he?" And then I walk away like.
So then they go to the graveyard.
Yeah. So they go to the graveyard. I don't know why they went to the
graveyard. Because I think they just heard
maybe did
family.
They move? Yeah. So they moved
I actually
to
don't know
place,
the
and
reason
they were like,
why they moved. I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember either.
I don't
maybe
think
they had to
graveyards.
move, and then they were like, "Oh, turns out we're near this graveyard," which is actually hopefully 5 minutes away.
Basically, they dig up this. The dad's like, "Oh, but I don't know. I won't ruin it, even though you clearly can tell what's going to happen." But they start looking for some ancestor's grave. They dig all stuff up. It's got this
sphinxes.
It's got a sphinx and a little pyramid.
Yeah.
And the dad's like, "Oh yeah, by the way, actually, I'm Egyptian."
I forgot to tell you.
Like,
yeah.
They go great, but they don't go back far enough.
No, they do not
go
back
far
enough.
Oh, what my great grandmother.
It's sort of like Busted Year 3000 level of annoyance.
Yeah.
It's like they don't even go back further than that. It's like a million times more.
They kind of go, "Oh, we'll have a bit of a tidy up," and then they leave, and then the little sister, oh shit,
it's okay.
The little sister forgets a brooch, so the older sister's like, oh, I have to go back. She doesn't fucking want to, but she's like another angry face. She's a bit moody teenager.
Yeah.
And then she just falls and dies. She cracks her head open on a gravestone.
I don't
actually
think
a
she'd
point.
die from that.
She breaks. I mean, part of the actual stone breaks. She's dead.
She probably would actually be dead from breaking that stone.
She's fucking dead. And if you've seen Card Captors, you know what's going to happen next. All the fucking 51 sins or demons come out. The demons of the Nile fly out, and all these little weird. They're just like things on strings that spin around.
But like, what even like? The one that continues in this episode just looks like a bit of cum with like a bit of cum on a sofa. At the end. It looks like a bit of cum on a sofa with like one of those neon UV lights over it, so you can see all like where the body cells were. Meant to be, and it was shining.
It was meant to be.
It looked like a bit of cum on a sofa.
But they all shot off into the sky, and then Thutmose, the original, turns up, and she's Princess Leia. She just goes,
she does do a bit
like that, and
Leia.
She's like proper leaning down. They must have done that shot.
She does like a Princess Leia afterwards, like. She's sort of been living in that house with all these.
It's a pyramid,
but like
with all the sins.
With all the sins, she's sort of like, guys, calm down, everyone.
Yeah. She's like, oh, actually, we're related. You're my great grandmother from Egypt.
and you're going to have
Who's
to
also
now
Japanese,
be Thutmose.
like,
Yeah. It doesn't really make much sense, that one. But yeah, you're going to now be the new Thutmose. I can imagine maybe she's not. Maybe she's not.
Who is
the
that?
one from Egypt? Maybe she's like a great ancestor that also fucking headbutted
and
they
took the mantle.
Yeah.
That makes more sense.
So
Then
like
she'd
kind of like
be
Black Knight.
because also why would they just not the grave be in Egypt? Like,
that
makes more sense.
Yeah, that does obviously make. I get you probably want to take them as far away from fucking Egypt as you can.
Not talk about John Leslie. Remember John?
Today's top prize of no less than £2,000.
John Leslie. He used to do Wheel of Fortune.
Oh yeah, kind of.
He had that weird. Was it his wife or his girlfriend? Abby Thutmose. That's what I'm thinking
Thutmose.
of. I have to. That's why I'm.
Yeah,
I was like, where's
Thutmose.
Thutmose come from? Anyway.
I was slightly obsessed with Tabby Thutmose. Do you remember that?
Tabby
Thutmose. Anyway,
she suddenly gets turned into. Sorry, she gets given all the powers.
Gets given all the powers.
One of the little demons comes out into the bad guy's coffee cup.
Yeah.
And he drinks it or eats it.
Yeah.
And suddenly he's.
Well, no, he doesn't actually. He sort of sees it.
And then it drops in his
Then
mouth.
it just goes, oh, he's not going to drink me. And then she sort of follows him around and goes in.
And because he was thinking about sober, it makes sober become alive.
I feel like
it's what he wants.
No, I feel like it's what he wants, but I feel like he wanted that, and he's like, right, I'm evil now because I'm possessed by this demon. I really want that sober now, and now everyone's going to have to come to my social housewarming things.
Suddenly, all the sober noodles start flying around and being alive. And it's just fucking weird. And they're not really hurting people.
No, they're not.
People running out of their apartments.
The
you just
sound
go like
as well that they made was really funny. It's like or something weird like that.
People just cowering, and it's like just stop. You just go like, hey, sober noodles.
Well, it
stop.
turns
like,
out
what's it going to do?
It turns out the sober noodles do actually listen, aren't you? Quite understanding because she's like, why are you so mad moving sober? And they're all like, oh, we're not used to being spoken to. Normally people just scream and run away. And then she goes and then she eats them.
So suddenly it's Thutmose versus the manager, who's just like, I don't know, a 40-year-old man.
Yeah, that was weird.
They're in a little park outside the building. They have a bit. Sorry, well, first she accuses, like, this is the guy who's ruining everyone's life. Yeah. And it cuts to this black and white film.
Oh, what the fuck?
What the fuck? There's like a guy in a bar. I don't know if he's counting money. It was just like, ugh. And there's this car coming towards the window, like it's going to crash through. Then, I don't know what was going on.
But I think it's because he caused the curse of the sober noodles. But
who was that person? That wasn't him, was it?
The guy who owned the sober restaurant down at the bottom.
Was it?
Yeah, I think that was.
I thought that was him.
He was
like
in
a gangster.
He was
10
in that
years
same.
before.
He was in that same room that she walked into, and that's why he had that weird thing where he's fucking nailing that curse to the wall.
Oh, there was also like a tiny crucifix.
You know, it wasn't. Well, it was a crucifix actually, but I think that was like the curse that he was nailing to the wall. And he's like, there he is. Curse upon the fucking sober noodle people.
Then she just has this fight with this 40-year-old man, and they're just sort of. Just like it's
it's really quite bad. And then she wraps him up with papyrus paper.
I like the papyrus little whip thing.
Him,
and he goes up a slide backwards.
Oh yeah, that was really fucking weird.
And here's Sasha.
Hello, welcome to the Door Talk.
It was weird. I was laughing. I was actually
the funniest part was definitely the floating sober sort of thing. It was very Garth Marenghi's Dark Place.
Yes. Because there's cutlery coming.
All the cutlery coming. The thing becomes a lizard.
Yes.
After she pulls out the papyrus paper.
And then she has like the
little
she just goes, glass bottle kind of thing.
Here. And it was sort of like a woman like dabbing perfume on her, where she just took it off, and then the lizard just went zoop, back in there. I thought she was incredibly elegant.
Oh, did she?
The whole she kept doing very elegant things. Like everything that she did. Like, do you know when she was like, "Oh, I can't be embarrassed to do this," and she was like, "Mama."
At the end, it's like, "Oh, by the way, it's sober noodles for dinner." Ah, jeez.
Yeah.
End.
Stop.
Next week, Beethoven's Ghost.
Yeah.
Right, so
I know. I have to say, Beethoven's Ghost was something that I was like, I can't take this into consideration because Beethoven's Ghost has really sort of got me a little bit.
How is that a demon? I don't understand.
No, but the thing is though,
Beethoven.
I know we need to watch this. But the thing is though, they were also saying they sort of made out like it wasn't just Beethoven's Ghost that was the demon. So if you go on it, right? Yeah. So like, next time, just go put your sound on and call Catherine. And attack children. Why are you attacking children? There's a demon of the Nile. Also, it finally appears in Thingy School. So it's as if like the Beethoven's thing and the demon of the Nile are different ghosts. Like Beethoven's ghost is also here. So she's not only she's got the 51 fucking demons of the Nile.
But is it just random famous? Oh shit!
Famous
people. I like how we had the sound on that, as if you could understand what she was saying.
No, but I needed to.
The sound.
I need to hear the music.
How's that Duolingo going back?
It's going really well. I know.
I'm impressed if you just got all that.
Beethoven's ghost is attacking the children.
So on this episode of Versus,
Oh, I have fucking no idea.
the winner is obviously Thutmose.
It is
I
Thutmose.
I
It is
cried.
Thutmose.
I had so many emotions.
I had more fun with Thutmose, actually.
It was a real surprise.
I do get that. Yeah, it was definitely a surprise.
But it's sad that she
I
died in
quite
that
like the
graveyard.
outfit. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, you say that she obviously. I feel like it's just more like the structural weaknesses of that pyramid. People
It's
say
been there for like 1,000 years.
It has been there for 1,000 years, but that's
She might as well have pierced her eye on the top of it or something.
Yeah.
She was dead. Anyway, guys,
Yeah, she's pretty dead.
thanks so much. I don't know how much of this I'm even going to take out because it's all just a weird wild ride. I feel I have to keep it all
You've got to
in.
keep everything in, and then people are having to watch a 30-minute interview.
Interview with...
This is their interview with Mark and Joe. How did you find Thutmose?
Yeah.
When was the first time you encountered Abby Thutmose?
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.